Terrence Howard stepped into the courtroom, the weight of the truth pressing heavily on his shoulders. The tension in the room was palpable, filled with anticipation and silent whispers. This was no ordinary trial, this was a battle to expose the shadows surrounding Ava Baron Combs, Diddy's adopted daughter whose mysterious disappearance had sent shockwaves through the industry. Terrence recalled the moment Ava had appeared on Diddy's Instagram Live. Her introduction was brief, yet her discomfort was unmistakable, eyes darting, voice hesitant. It was a fleeting glimpse that sparked questions he could no longer ignore. Terrence described the growing suspicion surrounding Ava's disappearance. He presented chilling evidence, including similarities between Ava and images on missing persons posters, physical traits, mannerisms, and more. He detailed his investigation, revealing the suspicious lack of records and the unnerving possibility that Ava was hidden in plain sight. The courtroom grew silent as Terrence challenged Diddy's transparency. He questioned the credibility of the narrative around Ava's adoption and disappearance, urging the court to demand full disclosure. Terrence shared his fears that if Ava truly was missing, the web of silence and power protecting the truth had to be unraveled. Terrence recounted the chilling moment when he uncovered troubling evidence of Ava being exploited for publicity rather than genuine family love. Gene's revelations about the use of children as props in the entertainment industry painted a grim picture of exploitation and deception. The courtroom atmosphere thickened with tension as jurors absorbed the weight of these claims. Terrence's voice grew steady but filled with urgency as he spoke about the intimidation he faced when trying to expose Ava's situation. The threats were real, aimed at silencing him and others who dared to speak out. Despite the danger, Terrence remained unwavering, fueled by a commitment to justice and protection for the vulnerable. Before stepping down, Terrence revealed an anonymous message he received, hinting at even deeper secrets within the powerful network surrounding Ava's disappearance. The courtroom buzzed with anticipation, sensing that the truth was far more complex and dangerous than anyone had imagined. Terrence's testimony closed with a firm resolve. The fight for Ava's safety and justice had only just begun. The courtroom's tension mounted as Terrence resumed his testimony, peeling back layers of secrecy surrounding Ava's life and disappearance. He painted a vivid picture of a world where power and fear intertwined, where children like Ava were caught in a dangerous game. Terrence detailed how Ava's image was manipulated, used as a tool in public relations rather than protected as a child. The stark contrast between public facade and private reality became painfully clear. Terrence described the relentless pressure and threats aimed at those who tried to reveal the truth. Lies and rumors were weaponized to isolate and silence whistleblowers, creating a culture of fear. Speaking out came at a cost, Terrence said, voice steady. But staying silent meant betraying the vulnerable. The courtroom absorbed the weight of his words, the gravity of the system he was fighting against sinking in. The fear that gripped the industry was suffocating. Terrence spoke of unspoken rules and coded warnings that kept everyone in line. You either play their game or risk everything, he explained. He painted a stark picture of a system designed to protect the powerful at all costs, with children like Ava caught in the crossfire. The defense team launched a fierce attack, questioning Terrence's motives and credibility. They aimed to paint him as biased and unreliable. But Terrence stood firm, countering their arguments with compelling evidence, documents, witness statements, and digital records that revealed a pattern of manipulation. As Terrence laid out his case, support from survivors and advocates began to swell. Messages of encouragement poured in, urging him to persist despite the threats. Yet the danger grew. Attempts to intimidate and silence escalated, underscoring the high stakes of the battle for truth. Just as hope seemed to grow, new incriminating evidence surfaced, documents and videos revealing deeper layers of deceit and exploitation. The courtroom was shaken, the stakes raised higher than ever. Terrence's determination only strengthened, the fight was far from over. Under the harsh courtroom lights, Terrence prepared to reveal the human cost behind the allegations. He spoke not just of Ava, but of countless children trapped in similar webs of exploitation. His voice carried the weight of years of frustration, hope, and determination to make a difference. Terrence opened up about the personal toll, the isolation from friends, the strain on family, and the constant fear that shadowed his every move. Trust became scarce, he confessed. Every day was a battle. But amid the struggle, a turning point came. Terrence shared the moment he decided to break his silence and fight for justice, no matter the cost. The defense escalated their efforts to discredit Terrence, attacking his character and questioning his evidence. But he stood firm, bolstered by witnesses and documents that painted a clear picture. A key witness stepped forward, corroborating Terrence's testimony and exposing further corruption in the industry. The courtroom buzzed as public opinion began to shift. Survivors inspired by Terrence's courage came forward, their voices adding weight to the call for accountability. Terrence's steadfast resolve ignited hope for a future where truth could no longer be suppressed. Just as momentum built, a sudden betrayal from a trusted ally threatened to undo everything. The sting of deceit was sharp, but Terrence's resolve remained unshaken. He drew strength from those who stood by him, recommitting to the fight for truth and justice. As the day's proceedings ended, Terrence looked out at the courtroom with quiet determination. This fight is bigger than me, he said. It belongs to every child, every voice silenced by fear. Though challenges remained, the tide was turning, the pursuit of justice had gained momentum. The courtroom's atmosphere grew heavier as Terrence stepped forward to reveal the dark realities behind the glitz of celebrity adoptions. The parties and public appearances masked a world of manipulation and control. He spoke candidly about the dangerous games played behind closed doors, where children like Ava were pawns in a larger scheme. Terrence detailed the chilling rituals at celebrity gatherings, secret deals, forced silence through NDAs, and the pressure to conform. Many left feeling broken, trapped by the very fame that promised escape. He shared testimonies and confidential documents exposing a network designed to protect the powerful at the expense of the vulnerable. The courtroom's mood shifted as Terrence revealed aggressive smear campaigns orchestrated by Diddy's allies. Media manipulation and social exclusion became tools to silence dissent. Despite mounting pressure, Terrence remained resolute. New evidence forced skeptics to confront the systemic abuse ingrained in the industry. Terrence shared how survivors, inspired by his testimony, began to speak out. Messages from previously silent victims poured in, signaling the start of a movement to break decades of silence and fear. He reflected on the personal sacrifices but reaffirmed his commitment to justice and change. The emotional toll was immense. Terrence spoke of broken friendships, strained family ties, and the loneliness of standing against powerful forces. The cost has been great, he admitted, but so has the resolve. His testimony painted a portrait of sacrifice and courage amid overwhelming odds. As Terrence concluded, he called for accountability and reform. This is about more than individuals, he said. It's about an industry forced to confront its darkest truths. The courtroom fell silent, the weight of his words lingering as the fight for justice continued beyond the courtroom walls. Behind the glamorous facade of Hollywood lay stories of pain and silence. Terrence opened up about the emotional scars borne by those caught in the fight for truth. Nights filled with anxiety, moments of heartbreak, and constant threats became part of his daily reality. Terrence described the toll constant surveillance and betrayal took on his mental health and relationships. Friends drifted away, trust eroded. Living in the spotlight was isolating, he admitted. Yet, fueled by hope, his determination to reveal the truth never wavered. Terrence unveiled confidential documents exposing widespread use of NDAs designed to silence victims and shield abusers. These contracts were chains, he explained. He shared stories of survivors trapped by legal barriers, fearful to speak due to severe consequences. Public opinion was divided. Many hailed Terrence's bravery, while others questioned his motives. The battle for truth is fought not only in courts but in hearts and minds, he reflected. The polarization highlighted the difficulty of confronting entrenched power. A crucial witness stepped forward, corroborating Terrence's testimony and revealing deeper corruption. The courtroom was shaken, momentum tipping toward justice. Yet the battle was far from over. Terrence braced for new challenges, strengthened by allies and growing support. Terrence recounted a painful betrayal by a trusted ally, threatening to unravel everything. Trust is fragile, he admitted. But betrayal only fuels my resolve. He closed with a vow to fight for every silenced voice until justice prevails. The courtroom brimmed with anticipation as Terrence prepared to deliver his closing argument. This was more than a legal battle, it was a plea for justice for Ava and all vulnerable children. His voice carried conviction, I ask you not just to hear me, but to listen, to see the faces behind the silence. Terrence called on survivors to unite, emphasizing the power of collective voices to dismantle oppression. Together, we are unstoppable, he declared. Change begins with courage. He shared stories of resilience, inspiring hope beyond the courtroom walls. The defense launched a fierce final attack, attempting to discredit Terrence's testimony. The courtroom tension soared as lawyers probed every detail, seeking to sow doubt. Terrence remained steadfast, backed by compelling evidence and unshakable conviction. In a dramatic moment, Terrence unveiled a pivotal piece of evidence that shifted the courtroom atmosphere. The judge and jury absorbed the weight of a confidential document exposing a deep cover-up. This breakthrough signaled a turning point in the pursuit of justice. The verdict sent ripples through the courtroom and beyond. Media outlets called for reform, and the culture of silence in the entertainment industry began to crack. Terrence reflected on the collective power that had made this moment possible, hopeful for the road ahead. As Terrence stepped out of the courtroom, he knew the battle was far from over. New challenges loomed, threats, scrutiny, and the ongoing fight to keep truth alive. But his spirit remained unbroken. Fueled by hope and courage, Terrence was ready to face whatever came next, determined to change the industry for good.